All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, here we go. All right, welcome to DP Quarentimes number 9. Yes, we are still in this virtual environment. There's still a pandemic out there, all right? So I drove through the city streets this past weekend, and it don't look like it, but trust me, there is still a pandemic going on out here. Please be, responsible, man. We're going to get through this. We want to still have a summertime, all right? So y'all be responsible out there, man. Don't just, I know we all tired of being in the house. I know we tired of not seeing family, not seeing friends, but we still got to be responsible, all right? Day and myself, we back in the studio, but we not bringing nobody else ass in here. You know what I'm saying? We staring at a computer screen. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting next to him. I don't really want to, but it's the only way we both can see the same computer screen because we ain't got a projector budget yet. All right? I'm happy your host in tandem, Ed Bailey, joined as always with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and we cover our face when we're out in public, both your mouth and our noses. You know what I mean? So, if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 203. I don't even know, man. I don't even remember anymore. Years,
a whole
man.
lot of
It's been a while, man. We've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook. Rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Listen, you love us. I know you still love us because when we put that episode out last week, you told us how much you love us, right, on the internet. And that's what we need you to continue, all right? We need you on the internet to please, at the click of a button, tell the internet, tell the world, tell everybody about Drinking Partners, and tell the Drinking Partners what you want to see from us. Tell us who you want to see on the cast, what, how you want us to continue to develop, continue to level up. Give us some feedback so we can do it. We do it for the people. We do it so we can get drunk away from our respective fiancés. But in addition to getting drunk with the homie while the fiancé at the crib, we do want to serve y'all appropriately, all right? Yeah. So look, y'all see us and continued, and I didn't do this last time, continued shout out to the Conways and Car Guy DJ, for starting the trend, because we still accepting shots of Hennessy.
Yes, we do, man. We are taking those shots of Hennessy.
Only via UPS or FedEx, or if Hennessy is on Amazon, you can prime me a Hennessy, but send shots, all right? I ain't had a good Henny night. And shit, it's been a while. It's been a year now.
It's been a year. It's been today or tomorrow. I don't know, because the day doesn't exist this year. It was February 29th was the last night of Epic Comedy.
I saw that post.
Sold out, man. It was a year ago. That was the last time we were, we did the thing before the pandemic, and it has been a year, man. It's wild, but we are still accepting those shots of Henny, and we are still rocking with Farm to Table. Shout out to them for sponsoring the cast. Through the pandemic, providing food, meals, information for local farms, retailers, and restaurants. If you're looking to access food that's nutritional, support local businesses, and get back to your roots, check out Farm to Table, man. They're doing good stuff in the community. Shout out to Jackie Page. I saw they had collabed together to make some meals and deliver those out to the churn. You know what I mean? That was out there at the schools, through the pandemic, and just doing good work out there. So educate yourself, educate your community, and figure out how you can eat nutritionally on a budget. Yeah, I mean, you ain't got to be rich to eat well, and you can get those tools and get access to that through Farm to Table at farmtotablepa.com.
Support local, support fresh, support the people who support you. That's what we continue to do. And Aaron and the folks over at Farm to Table continue to do so. And I'm glad you shouted out Jackie, too, from Lug Rocks Cafe, because, yes, wonderful food, but also, man, she's doing her damn thing in the community, man. So we love that. That's what we like to bring. That's who we like to rock with. We like to rock with the folks that touch the community, that touch down, that reach the people, right? And that's what this episode is about. You know what I'm saying? People reaching the people. We got our guest. She be reaching the people, you know what I'm saying? And meeting them where they are. Is that appropriate to say? She meets the people where they are. We have Chalonda right here, a.k.a. BKA and IFKYK, Afro.Beer.Chick. You know what I'm saying? Say what up to the people.
What's up, my people? What's going on? Thank you guys for having me.
She done swagged on us, though.
Yeah.
She done came through. She got all the red accents
Yo.
with the glasses, the mic, the drape. I see
Drip.
We just sitting here. We ain't even got the Epicast behind us.
We out here in a basement in Allentown. She got the drip.
Oh,
got
she
the
got
the
a
mug.
Ooh.
Listen, it's a very well curated event over there, and I don't know. I feel like I'm out here without my makeup.
This is America right now. This is black women are stunting on everybody right now.
Yeah.
They are showing the fuck out right now. I'm like, yo, I'm like scared to book y'all now. I'm like, yo, I gotta step my game up.
Ain't no half stepping out here. Like I'm over here caught out.
I feel like I should have had a suit on or something.
So we appreciate having you on. It's nice. You porting in from is it where is Chicago? I don't know.
Where is Chicago? It's Illinois. It's Chicago, Illinois. It's in America.
Illinois?
It's
Indiana,
north of Pittsburgh.
Illinois.
It's cold as fuck. Don't walk between the buildings when the wind's blowing. It'll cut the fuck out your.
I tell you that, like that wind.
A 6-hour drive from you guys that I found that out, but I made it in like 5. You know,
that's all right. Don't incriminate yourself.
We
I know, right?
I met. I think we met. Was it the first year, or the second year of Fresh Fest?
Second year, because I didn't know about it the first year.
It had a booth on the corner, and like in prime location, and just like was like a beacon. Like everybody was around that. Like just it was a whole different festival.
Good energy right
in
there.
that corner over there because of you. And I appreciate, I follow your exploits throughout your social medias and whatnot, and just doing a lot in the community and just a lightning rod for the Black beer community. And it's dope to see you grow and touch more folks and whatnot. So I guess for the people that don't know, I guess give a little bit of background on who you are and in your business.
Well, I basically just kind of drink beer and talk shit. So I'm talking all different type of topics. I'm all about trying to push, equality and diversity in not only the brewing industry, but just as a whole. So I didn't expect for it to ramp up the way that it did. It just got to the point where I got tired of sitting back and just seeing people being mistreated or people being overlooked. So I used my platform. I put my platform on the line. I mean, because at the end of the day, I've said it before that I'm Chalonda first. So that means that I have to, kind of jeopardize ABC to speak truth, and so be it. And I think people kind of appreciate that. Like she's willing to kind of go all in for the truth. So I'm at the point like, hey, 2 tears in a bucket, fuck it. I'm just going to tell you the truth, what it is. Accept it or don't.
So how did you go about building your platform, and how did you come into the beer side of things? Because again, following it, it's impressive. Your whiskey collection, again, very impressive. I don't have a lot of whiskey friends, and it's nice to see
anybody with an alcohol collection.
Yeah, it's very well. Again, it's a nice. She lives the vinyls and things of that nature. Yeah, it's a very. So how did you come into the beer, the whiskey side of things, and how did you go about building your platform?
Okay, so the beer side, it was actually my husband that had brought me in. He Good was, man. Just drinking beer, and he gave me my first craft beer. And from there, I just kind of like, I was in search, like what's next? And it got to the point where I'm putting him on to stuff. And then it got, I got kind of tired of hanging out with him and his friends because it was nothing but a bunch of dudes. Like, here it is. He's the only Black dude and a bunch of white dudes just hanging out. So it's like, okay, where are the women?
Beer. Use a double minority again.
Yeah.
Right. So I started looking for other women, and I came across Girls Paint Out, and they had chapters in all, multiple cities, but they didn't have one in Chicago. So I asked the 2 ladies if I can start one here in Chicago. They allowed me to do that. So I did that for a few years. But then I stepped back because at the time my kids were young. I had smaller kids at the time. It was hard to party, drink, and be a responsible mom. Mm-hmm. So, but I was still drinking on the back end. But 2017, I'm a semi-empty nester at this point. My oldest, who's now in the military, is about to be 21. My youngest just turned 16. So it was like 2017. It was like, I don't have no babies at home. I can go and party and drink and not have to rush home. And, I can still do my thing in the beer industry. So I was having a conversation with a coworker, and it was so funny because he was like, Chalonda, you are always talking shit and you always drinking beer and you got this kick-ass afro. You should call yourself Afro.Beer.Chick. And I was like, yes, I'm rolling with that. And and then, from there, I started looking for more Black people. And when I started this journey, I was looking for Black-owned breweries. At the time, we only had 6. Right. Now we're like up to 60. Then it was like, man, all the beautiful Black people drinking beer. But then it really hit Fresh Fest when I was there vending. I'm like, damn, all these beautiful Black people drinking beer. It's been a wild ride, and I've been loving it.
So I'm impressed. So, I mean, being a woman in beer, being a Black woman in beer, and then now also being an outspoken woman in beer, that's impressive just to be able to maintain and to watch a platform grow is doubly impressive. So how do you, I know you sought out, you found the Black people in the industry, but how do you think that obviously that's instrumental in your success, but then how do you endear yourself to the community as a whole? Or is that not even a focus of yours?
Honestly, it wasn't a focus, and it still kind of isn't a focus. It's just basically, I'm this woman who drinks beer, and when I have something to say, I'm going to say it. I don't follow numbers. I don't follow trends. I don't care who follows me. I'm not trying to be, it's just me doing me. And along this way, I've come across some amazing, amazing people. So it was like, it's just being authentic with it. I don't buy followers. I just been having fun with it, and I think that's what it is. It's just grow. You do you be your authentic self, and everything just falls into place.
Yeah, I had your collab with Revolution. Tell us more about that delicious beverage, because the can art was insane. It was the sour. Was it peach?
Oh, freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression. Yes. Was it peach?
It was like a strawberry or rhubarb.
Rhubarb, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what rhubarb is.
It's a weird, like,
you don't know what it is.
It's a weird European like shoot. Like, you don't have it in Black households. Like,
no. Like, it's definitely not ain't nobody grandma talking about pat me that rhubarb out there. Give me that rhubarb.
It looks like a cute, like a what do you call them? Like a celery. It looks like a celery stick. And I'm like, y'all eating, like, is it eating and put it in pies? I'm like, y'all motherfuckers putting red celery in pies? Like, that shit.
Ain't nan pie in East Cleveland got rhubarb in it. It ain't no East Cleveland pie with rhubarb. I don't know how they doing in Braddock and out in Chicago, but you're not going to no East Cleveland household and get a rhubarb nothing. So how did you even, so he asked about the collab, how that came to be, and then how did the rhubarb get introduced? Was that, because I'm going to assume that didn't come from you, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, so they did that. That's funny. So they did that with I had that email that was sent to me, and I thought about not even posting it, but it was so funny. I was like, I'm gonna post it. So I posted it. Somebody was bored one day, called me out my name. You know how they do us. And it took off from there. So Dr. J. Nicole Beckham, she started the whole hashtag I'm Craft Beer in support of me dealing with that. And it's like, that wasn't the first email that showed, it showed one the last.
No.
But honestly, I can't say that I collabed with Rev. They did that in support. They said, hey, how would you like if, can we just put this on a can? And I was like, okay, cool. So no, I didn't have, that was all of them just in support of, the movement.
So she separated herself from the rhubarb.
Yeah,
you saw
she's
that,
like,
right?
listen.
You see how she separated? I just want let it be noted.
It's yams over here, all right? This is a yam household. No, so
sweet potato pie.
There you go. If it was mine, it'd been a sweet potato.
Hey, it was a sweet potato pie, buttermilk pie, something in the hood.
So how do you handle the emails and the various, because like, it's weird being it's weird existing. And that's what I've realized in this craft beer scene and just in America, in this life scene. Like, just existing as Black is offensive. Like, and you know, you get a lot of like, I'll post something black in a beer group and it's like, why's it gotta be about race? And it has I'm not saying like, man, fuck you white people, black people rule, let's only drink black beer. I'm just posting like, hey, here's some black owned breweries if you're looking for some. And they're like, well, why is it gotta be about race? We'll drink it if it's, you know, and then you get the inbox of the motherfuckers and it's wild. So how do, like, you know, I mean, I think it's when people see us building platforms and doing these things out there, whatever, I don't think that they understand, I guess, that uglier side and the repetition of it. Like, it's all the same rhetoric over and over again. How do you handle that?
You know what? It gets to the point where it's like it just become numbing. It's like, you know, you're gonna always encounter ignorance. So I'm about to be so in a couple of weeks, I'm not gonna let that drain my energy. I just sit back. For me now, it's at the point, like I've had emails in my inbox right now that have probably put that first email to shame. And I'm at the point I don't even bother to respond, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that energy. They're looking for a response. And the best thing you can do when those type of people is to, you know, ignore them. Because my thing is, if you're gonna hide behind an email,
right,
you're a punk.
Right.
At least show me your face. At least show me your actual social media. Stand on what you're going to say. Other than that, it's like, I can't take you seriously.
Oh, the Anons. Anons love to be, oh man, the Anons. It's like, why are you hiding behind that dog AV? Like,
and I would imagine that makes it more difficult, because in this society, right, you don't even know if is this even an email that comes from there. So, I mean, I'm sure it's in there somewhere, right? But is the purpose of this email to spew this hate, or is it to somehow spark something later, right? The email, or if it's a social media post, like everybody chasing clout out here. And if you're making waves and people have now accepted your message and how you bring your voice to the community, and they're like, all right, so here's a movement happening over here. I need to attach myself in some way, or, you know what I mean? Or is it, I need to stop this? Like, and I struggle with that sometimes. I'm like, well, what is the harm? Like, if they post something in the Brothers in Craft Beer or any other thing like that, like, what is the harm in that? You could just scroll past that post like you do 99% of the posts, you know what I'm saying, that you see. But for you to identify that, like, I'll be wondering, is it really hate, or is it like people just chasing clout out here? Like, it's just so many clout chasers out here.
I think it's kind of a combination of both. I think when you get to the ones that hide behind, you know, they take the time to create a fake social media platform, then those are the ones they're looking for some type of clout. And then the ones who are like generally just outright hateful, they don't give no damns about being exposed. It is who it is. So it's like, you can definitely tell between the two. Like, I've had some that hit me up on my social media from their business account, and then my followers just kind of tag. I didn't even have to say anything. My followers just kind of tagged that as like, okay, it is what it is. And it's like, now you're stupid enough to put your business in jeopardy,
right?
Especially here in Chicago. Come on now, seriously, you know. But
that was gonna be my next question. Like, what is the Chicago scene like? Like the beer scene? Oh, you
mean the beer scene?
Yeah. Like, how is
man, it is crazy. It's okay. So Chicago itself, just in the city of Chicago, we have 77 different neighborhoods. So you're going to get something different in each neighborhood. Chicagoland, we have maybe like roughly 160 some breweries.
Chicagoland?
Chicagoland. So we're talking about the suburbs of Chicago, the outskirts.
So y'all got like your own continent? They just decided they own country? We got Chicago, then we got Chicagoland. It's all the ancillary Chicago.
There's an American embassy somewhere in that motherfucker.
It's so funny because, like, you guys are talking about Three Floyds earlier. Three Floyds, where it sits at, is considered, we consider it as Chicagoland because it's so close. It's right over the border of Illinois. But it's wild here because each neighborhood you're going to get something different. Like Revolution is maybe 20 minutes away from me. Then I'm down the street from Half Acre, and then I'm right 25 minutes from Pipeworks, and you have Spiteful, and then oh my God, Maplewood. We are not in a beer desert here at all.
So what is it like? drinking in there, like, you know, I mean, because I don't know, we don't have anywhere near 160 breweries in Pittsburgh land. Like, I think in Allegheny County we might be at around 60, and that might be like because there's a lot that have opened up, you know what I mean, over the last couple of years or whatever, but definitely less than 100, far less than 100. And, you know, I find it's wild trying to keep up, one, like with new breweries that open, and it's like, oh shit, y'all, you know, and then two, it's I almost don't want beer that's outside of Pittsburgh just because there's so much beer that I haven't tried here, and there's so much good beer here. So, like, you know, what is it like being in a place that has 160 breweries? Are you drinking beer from other places? How do you spend your time drinking? Because you only have so many hours in a day.
Oh, she an empty nester now.
Yeah.
She got plenty time. She an empty nester with her own little studio.
Dog, so
Yeah, how do you portion your liver for beer and make room for outside of Chicagoland? Because I mean, goddamn, 100 and some there is a lot.
And mind you, that's just the estimate. At one point, we were up to 177, and then 77 breweries in actually the city of Chicago. We've had some closures, so I don't know what the definite number is now.
That's when you know you got a lot of breweries when motherfuckers is closing.
Or a lot of land.
Yeah.
How big is Chicago? I'm like trying to think. I've been there.
175 breweries. Is
it 175 breweries large? Okay. That's how we
gauge in cities these days. Like, so.
But so here's the thing. This is how they get you. Okay. So like I definitely drink beer from other places. Like, but right now I'm on a detox. I haven't had anything to drink over the past week. I'm not drinking until my birthday because I just need to give my body a break. I have to.
Wait, should I be clapping? I'm clapping, but then there's also like there's this black at the end of it. It's like I'm not drinking, but I'm drinking because I'm gonna drink a lot. So I'm like, am I applauding you? I'm like, it's responsible. It's responsible.
I'm always just like, okay, like like if you're drinking, if you're not drinking, okay.
I'm drinking.
Yeah, I'm drinking, and and it's okay if that's what you like to do. I do a dry month in April because I need a lot of sunshine when I'm not drinking. Yeah, I mean, I can't. It's too gray in February or January to be like, nah. There ain't enough weed in the world to get me through a dry February.
But see, here's the thing. For me, I'm like the opposite. So like right now is the perfect time to drink because the weather, because the snow is melting. Mm-hmm. People are now starting to kind of come outside, but it's not patio weather. I want my liver to be, popping when it's time to go sit in a brewery's patio rather than trying to go dry in the summertime.
I want my liver to be popping.
the fresh cells, them hydrated cells.
So how many breweries are located where Dirk and them from? That's the brewery I'm trying to go to. I'm trying with Dirk and them. Dirk, who out there? Who's still out there? The rappers out there. You got Dirk out there, and who else? I don't even know who from Chicago. Everybody be God bless the dead, but it seems like they all be passing. Like, they got any in like Afrocentric neighborhoods?
Oh man,
as a serious question.
We really don't. So, and that's the thing. Like we had one coming to Inglewood, which is on the south side of Chicago. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I know they had ran into some issues with the nonprofit, but that was the only brewery that was going to be in the inner city. We had Argus that was on this far south side of Chicago, that was in a Pullman neighborhood, which is a predominantly black, basically all black neighborhood. But that is closed because of COVID. So as of right now, we really don't have any in any urban neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know, because was it so 18th Street is in Indiana up there, and then Black Horizon, working with them, they're around, and then we were trying to work with Inglewood, and I didn't know what with the status, because there's just so few, and it is wild when like major cities, like a lot of folks, it's like it. You would be surprised how many people just assume that black-owned breweries are a thing everywhere. Like they're just like, oh yeah. So what are some? How many? What are all, people ask? This is what people ask me. Where are all the what are all the black-owned breweries in Pittsburgh? And I'm like, all of them. You want me to name all of them?
You can. I could definitely name all of them.
Do you want me to talk? You want me to go PA? Because we got none. They assume that it's like restaurants, and there's but then and it's it's understandable. It's not understandable. It is understandable, but that Pittsburgh as a smaller city might not have any. But then let's go to Chicago and be like, yeah, we got maybe one, in a major, with a black population,
and with 177
and 177 of them, and that's that's less than 1% in a very black populated city. That's pretty wild.
Let's see. Here's the thing: Black Horizon is black owned, but it's not in the city of Chicago.
Yeah,
it's in Willowbrook. It's in a western suburb of Chicago. And Chicagoans, they get real ticky about suburbanites claiming to be from Chicago. They're like, not the damn city of Chicago.
Is that Chicagoland though? Or is that
it's
even outside?
Chicago land. You got to put that land
first.
Chicago
land.
So it is. Okay. I'm like, damn, is Chicago land and the suburbs of Chicago?
If you don't have a 606 area code,
that's what the brat said. 60, 604, 606. Okay. That's what the brat was talking about. All right. I'm in it. I get it. Yeah, I was I went to Chicago. I forget where. I used to visit Chicago, and I went to where's that Negro League Cafe, or where was that? What side of town was that?
That was in Bronzeville.
Yeah, I got off the train. It was nobody outside, and then I guess I just looked like I was visiting, because then 35 people just showed up. I was like, yeah, it's time for us to get back on the train. This place ain't even open. I love Chicago. I gotta get out there and get to some breweries, man. It's a
fun city, especially in the summertime when everything is when we're in our fullest bloom. It's a great city. When the weather during the wintertime is bullshit, but yeah.
When people touch down, because because you live in a tourist destination city, right? Which is wild. I don't know that feeling. We're trying to make that a little different, but for the moment, Pittsburgh ain't.
It's never gonna be.
Wait! Shout out to climate change, man. They said in the next 20, 30 years, Pittsburgh gonna be like Florida out this motherfucker. So yeah,
they still not gonna come.
but you live in a tourist destination, so when I'm sure you get hit up all the time, folks. Oh, I'm in your city. Where do we go? What's popping? Because I'm sure it's Chicago. Again, I was only there for a day and a half, and it was wild. I had the time of my life, and I was, So where do you tell people to go first when they touch down? I'm in. I want some booze. I want some food. Where
it's so funny because my first question has to be, what part of Chicago are you going to? Because that makes the biggest difference. Because I get people, I'm gonna be in Calumet City or Linwood. I'm like, well, you might be in Okay, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna be on the north side. Where on the north side? I live on the north side. I live on the farthest point of the north side before you cross over to the next suburb. So I live in Rogers Park. So it's the most diverse part of the city. So it's okay, where? So if you want to go to, if you want to come to Chicago, you got to find you got to get some Harris chicken now. You got to get some Harris chicken.
Yeah.
You got to have to dip to the west side and get some limbs, a barbecue. You got to go to Ain't She Sweet Cafe, black owned bakery over on 75th Street. As far as liquor wise, booze wise, the club scene. I haven't been a part of the club scene in so long. I don't even do the club scene.
We ain't even. I
love my life.
You look at that two wash dudes.
Yeah. We got to feel I'm an empty nester out there, so we old out here. But
club.
Yeah, but the brewery scene. I need to what's the? I only got a little bit of time, and my liver is dry. I need to wet that with something.
Maplewood, Revolution, Half Acre. And then if you go south, you go Weiner, you go Low Res. If you want to go further south, if you driving, if you got somebody who got a car, y'all go to the south suburbs. You have Open Outcry. You have Hailstorm. I would have said Three Floyds, but they closed that brew pub, unfortunately, permanently.
I saw
missed that place.
Yeah, that's wild.
You got to dip over to 18th Street. And then Drew is killing it. Drew has this little, he has this little monopoly where he's at in Indiana. So he has 18th Street, and then right next to it, he has his distillery. You know,
there's an 18th Street distillery.
Yeah, the 18th Street distillery. He's doing his own shit now, and it's really good. Then across the street, across the corner, he has another little brewery. It focuses on the sours, the sour notes.
There's
two. He's got like
killing it.
What? There's 218
leveling up.
Yeah,
I respect it.
That's crazy.
You could do like a little run just with his shit.
Yeah, nah, that's when traveling comes back, that's a destination, right?
No, traveling back for some people. You ain't checking. People is out here now,
bruh. I do be driving past. I be driving past, and the parking lots be full, and I'm like,
out here.
What is them? Like, what is you doing? Like, nah, I ain't. Yeah, when traveling come back for me.
You got to say that now. When it come back for myself. When I am comfortable with crossing state lines, because folks is out here.
Yo,
people that found that Expedia prices is low, they like, yo, I'm finna go. I'm about to go to.
Man, look, I was just looking at the trips to Puerto Rico for me and my daughter just to get up out of here in April. Tickets are $192 round trip.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
$190.
I was, you know, my girl's birthday, just, you know what I mean, and like I was like, you know, I was thinking like, let's go somewhere. Then I thought, I was like, man, all I'm gonna do is get a hotel and be afraid to like go any fucking where. Like I'm not eating in restaurants.
You could DoorDash there. You just go explore another city's DoorDash.
Yeah. It would just be a walking tour. And that ends back at the hotel.
I mean, you got to find something safe and responsible to do, man, because people are they're getting stir crazy right now. Like, it's become too much. Like that post, like you say, when you posted about our show, like that really put it into like perspective. Like I've only been on stage maybe 2 or 3 times since that show, if that. So that's like shit. But now in Chicago, y'all got a good transit system. Do people take like brewery like transit tours, or it's just like we hit like a yellow line, or I forget how the lines were out there, but you can hit like this on this line and just boom?
You love your life. Don't do that.
You love your life? Well, I told you, I got the train saved my life. I was outside of that little rail and they started to congregate. I hopped that thing so fast. But let me get back on what might have cameras. I don't even know.
No. The Hot Mess Express is what I call it. Like, okay, really? So you have that the train line. Yeah, honey, it's safer to take a Lyft or Uber.
I wonder what part of Chicago I was in then, because I didn't feel that. You know, if you were in Bronzeville, you had to be on the red line, because that one goes from the very tip of the city up here by me to like 87th in Chicago. Does that pass by Wrigley?
Out south. So yeah, you had to be on the red line.
Is that the one that passes by Wrigley?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that one. Like I wouldn't even put my daughter.
On a tour. So Shorty just had me all in peril. She ain't even like warn me. I'm out here about to be a Vic. all for going to try to see a shorty. See, this the things we go through for y'all.
It's easier for me to catch the red line to get to work if the world was still open, but I don't even catch the red line.
Oh, yeah. Yo, I was really out there. Yo, she had me hopping on the train like it was regular. We out here like it's regular. Like I'm out here. I got all the jewels out just chilling. Like, there go Wrigley Field. And the dudes down there taking notes. Like, we gonna plot on this guy. Oh shit.
So what like, you know, what have over this pandemic, how have you adapted in this pandemic? I know, again, for me,
journalism.
You know, I do a lot of car washes. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I just go to a car wash and I turn it on like a disco. And like, you know, and business is weird because we used to have it and now we don't. So finding different creative avenues and noticing like demand for different content and things of that nature. How have you adjusted? How has your life changed and how have you adjusted? And have you seen, you know, because a lot of digital content seems to, I mean, there's nothing live. So, you know, there seems to be more interaction online. People are really engaged these days online because that's the only way that we could connect. So, you know, how has that affected, you know, what you do, and how have you adjusted, you know, both professionally and personally?
I'd say it definitely put me in my own vibe. I definitely created like my own vibe. So like if I'm sitting at home and I'm chilling, I'm pulling out the vinyl, I'm sipping on the bourbon, I'm sipping on a beer and just straight chilling. I'm thankful for that. It's taught me a different way to distress. Far as professional wise, I mean, I drink professionally. So
that is nice. That's a nice thing to say.
Right. So if anything,
beat it.
It amped it up. Because I was looking at a picture of my bar last year. This time last year, I had one bottle of bourbon on my bar. Just one bottle.
Wow.
Now I have maybe 120.
So can you tell me about because I just started being able to afford whiskey first. Good whiskey, right? And when I say good whiskey, like, kind of good. I ain't into that crazy 100+ bottle, dollars in the 300 pappies and all that. Like, I'm not in that range, but I could, $60-$70 on a bottle ain't, too bad. I mean, every once in a while I might throw 100 down or something like that because I earned it or something like that. But, my liquor collection is very bare. And I don't know a whole lot, and I don't know a whole lot of whiskey drinkers. So, like, what are some of your bourbons that you got, and do you dabble in scotches or just the bourbons?
Well, so this whole COVID thing has definitely thrown me into. Has definitely thrown me into the whole bourbon side. So, like my husband and I, we have this podcast called The Neat Pour. So that I could say COVID birthed that. The scotches. I am not quite there yet because I'm not a huge fan of the peat that's in the scotch. But I do enjoy the Japanese whiskey, which kind of mimics that of the Scottish whiskey. It is not as much peat as you would like, Glenlivet or on, one of those brands. For me, it's been like I don't buy the expensive bottles. I was letting him buy, and I just drink on his shit.
See,
I'm
happy you said it.
Don't.
I'm happy you said it. It's recorded. It's recorded. He got it now. I'm happy you said it. I'm just happy you being honest about it. I think that's what marriage is, right? Like I'm gonna let this person provide this, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Like I'm not paying $200 for a bottle of bourbon, but you go ahead and do it, and then I'm gonna drink on it, and I'll get the basic bottles, to keep
the daily bottles. The daily bottles.
You gotta have something on a Wednesday.
You gotta have the daily bottles, and then you gotta have a special. Yeah, I mean, and between the two of them, y'all probably about to break even. I mean, that's how it is in my house. I mean, I live with a vegetarian, so I let her buy vegetables. Yeah, I mean, and I get all the all the meat.
That's not the same scenario. It's not. I'm not trying to hate, but that's not. Well, I do respect. I do respect that the thought you put into that. That's not how that works.
It's a team.
But you do bring up. This brings up a good point, right? So, professionals, entrepreneurs in the COVID space, and how that affects the relationship, right? So it seems like you and your husband have a good mix, right? You have similar interests. It seems, right? So y'all started the podcast, things like that. How one has been in COVID, being an entrepreneur, how does that affect the home life? And two, how does he feel about like he introduced you to beer and then you took off with it? Like, is that something that comes up? Like he introduced, you feel me? He introduced the beer and all of a sudden she's now Afro.Beer.Chick. Like,
you say like T.I.?
Just say it.
She tells me all of he would tell me that.
Yeah, I mean.
He was telling me, he was like, he's Mr. Afro.Beer.Chick, but he's cool with it. He was like, he's cool with it because now it's like he gets to sit back and let me do my thing. And he became out +1 events. He was like, he was just enjoying rolling with it. Like,
yeah,
So it's been cool because of the fact that for him on that notion, first, he doesn't have a wife that a bitch and complain about how much liquor he's bought because I want some too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
That's
okay.
That's a bad man. That might be the key.
it's got to. I mean, you have to find balance. I think that's the balance, right? And a lot of people won't find balance. Like even to a lesser extent with myself, right? So I started doing comedy before Camille started doing Cocopreneur, and I'm gaining all this traction, and I got shows every weekend. Boom, 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 and now she's got this Black Business Directory and all the stuff she's doing, and now she done took off, and now ain't no comedy shows.
Ain't no comedy. Like yo.
so now I'm in the tuck, just watching the flourish. Like yeah.
Yeah, no, that is wild. I mean, just sitting on the sidelines has been wild. But it is dope to see loved ones flourish, and that's when you know it's love is when you do see it, and there's not that like that jealousy or that that hint or whatever. Because I mean, it's especially in this pandemic, it's hard. I know. Me and my girl, we were already working from home a bunch. We're both artists, you know what I mean? Like she writes and I talk shit and drink beer and, and we weren't going to work. And I had just started wanting to get it back out like right before the pandemic hit because I was sick of working from home and we had to build in and I think that's the thing that has saved us through this pandemic is that because we had already been living together, and used to not having that 40, 50, 60 hours a week away like that. You know what I mean? We had to build in healthy ways to be apart from each other. Like I'd be like, listen, I'm going to leave the house now. She'd be like, all right, I'm going to, and force ourselves to kind of have that distance that most people typically have naturally. Right. So now with the pandemic, I feel like a lot of couples who weren't they're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, how am I spending all of this time? You know what I mean? And because everybody has a breaking point, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's a tolerance.
That was probably April of last year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tolerance, and then you got to figure out how to get through that or whatever. And I think that for us was the one thing is seeing a lot of our friends kind of go through those pains of being at the crib with each other all the time, and us being like, yeah, well, I go to the car wash once in a while.
I feel like Chalonda just slides her husband a shot. Like, hey, you be an Aggie. Here goes some of this $200 bottle you bought.
I'm always right. I'm always today. Yesterday, I went out and I bought bourbon, and then today I went out and I bought bourbon.
What was the last bourbon you bought?
I hunted down. I wanted to get St. Cloud, which is a black owned. Oh,
St. Cloud. What?
Yeah,
where are they at?
There are some black owned distilleries that are coming up. Bros Brothers. It's about 7 of them that I'm trying to hunt down because they're not sold here in Illinois. So I'm trying to, find my people, say, hey, send me this bottle, and I, you know how we do pirate mail.
Yeah.
But I was able to get my hands on some St. Cloud. So
swaggy bottle.
When I go see my mom,
shit, I ain't even see. Oh, that's nice.
That's a little swaggy bottle.
Yeah, I need parts of that. I just got I got hip to. So Uncle Near's was the first one that we got hip to, and then what was it? It was Rex out in Oregon, I think. Rex, and then what's the Guardian. Guidance, that's what it is. Guidance. Yeah, and again, Guidance is some smooth. That is a very well for the money, and they ship. I don't know where all they ship. I know they ship to PA, but those were the few, and I didn't even know. Those are the only ones that I knew of were those 3. So I didn't know. So you're saying there's more out there? I
was reading an article that it's up to 7 now, and I'm just trying to hunt them all down because I not only want to support, but I want to try them.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So in Chicago, in Cleveland, right, we got this thing where you have your beer, your neck of the beer, and then you have the little small plastic cup of your whiskey or your bourbon or yak. Do y'all do that in Chicago? Well, you got it's 2 separate.
That's what they call it. They call it a sidecar.
That's okay. Yeah. Is that a big thing out in Chicago? That's how I watched drinking growing up. It was you got to have beer and a drink.
There is not. It doesn't happen. There are some bars that offer that, but I'm not gonna say it's a huge thing. If you're a whiskey drinker, or you may ask for a sidecar. But yes, it's not I'm not going to say it's a huge thing because not every place does it. You have some places that offer specials. They may offer a Revolution beer to go with a particular whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Do you
it all
sidecar?
depends.
I mean, with your love for beer and bourbon, do you sidecar or just
because see, let me say this is how they get you. So this is why I'm like, no, because it's either one or the other. Either it's some crappy ass beer or some crappy ass whiskey.
Yeah.
So I just rather make my own sidecar. Like, give me this particular beer, and I'll take this whiskey and just kind of do it my own.
Well, I'm just saying, even in your home, like just in your so what I'm watching it growing up, and this is just how the elders drank at home. Like they would have their beer and they would have their little shot. No.
See, normally, if I wasn't on my detox, I would have a beer and then I would have my bourbon. I'm switching off between the two.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think it's a Midwest thing.
Yeah, what is the? Well, they
Midwest thing.
So I guess a sidecar there. I know down in Atlanta they call it a grenade, and it's a shot and a beer that you get. And then there's a festival up in Washington. And it's what do they call it? A Boilermaker.
Oh yeah,
I've heard that term.
So like it's regional what they call it, but I think a shot in a beer is just like I mean, but it's wild because here in Pittsburgh we don't have that culture, and it's not a thing that is offered. First time I got introduced was in Atlanta, and I was like, oh shit, and I was telling people about it, like, oh no, that's a sidecar, or that's a, you know what I mean, and they were telling me that it's like, yeah, we do that, but we call it that, and I was like, oh shit, so yeah, no, it is dope. But you're right. Typically at the bar, because it's a shot and a beer, as opposed to like a fine glass of whiskey next to a good craft beer. Yeah, I mean, because you're in a club usually, or like a bar, like it's just like it's a thing that like complements each other to get you fucked up quick, like and cheap. And I mean, it was like a special. It wasn't like a classy affair.
I'm not even thinking club setting. Because so where I grew up, you drink at home. I mean, you have your local spot that the watering hole, I guess they call it. But most of the people I saw were drinking at home. I'm not of age to be at the bar or whatever. So it's just how I think they were pouring way more than a shot. Yeah. See, in Pittsburgh don't have they don't have them little plastics. You know, Pittsburgh just got the regular plastic cups. They don't have them little plastics, the little thimble plastics. That's weird. So the man had the little thimble plastic in his beer, and that's just how my uncles drank and shit like that. I'm just watching like, yeah, that's dope. I would like.
It's so funny because my mom, she always get on me. She's like, you got that drinking from my daddy's side, don't you? I was like, yeah, but I said it's levels to this. Like I used to watch them just pour it up. It's like, Mom, it's you don't just pour it up, you sip to enjoy. Mm-hmm. So it's like so funny because like we were out one day and I'm drinking my beer and I'm drinking my whiskey and then I had another whiskey and then another whiskey. She's like, you're going to be drunk. And I wasn't drunk. You have to, you levels to this drinking. You got to know how to do it. I used to watch my uncles just take it to the head. So it was like, I learned from them what not to do.
Mm.
Yeah. My mom used to, back in her drinking days, used to, do the 40s of Red Bull and Blue Bull. And that shit is wild. It's just that's just a wild thing to put in your body. But that's just, that's black folks back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. That's what they was drinking and shit. But like, she's long since stopped drinking. But I did have like a bit of a bonding moment. Like I took her down to Rock Bottom and it's a restaurant and it was like right around the corner from her and had some beer. And I was like, Mom, I'm working. I ordered a flight. And it had like 5 little, like little tasters of flight. And she goes, you don't drink like that all the time. And I'm like, I look at her like, I mean,
these ain't even full beers. It's a sampler.
You don't know what I really get to.
This is how I start my night. But I was like, look, this is just, I'm working right now. I gotta, I gotta work and I gotta taste these and da da da. But I did order something, and it was, it was a sour. It was a little sweeter, and she had a taste of it. And she, she don't drink, but she had a little. I was like, look, it's super low ABV. It's like 3%. And she tasted it. She goes, ooh,
trying to turn his mama out.
Yeah, she goes, ooh, you know what? That don't taste like beer. And I'm like, oh yeah. And it's wild because like she's married to a pastor, so it's a very and they it was a dry house or whatever. But she definitely reached over as he was like looking the other way and grabbed another little taster of it. Like, oh, I see.
This dude, hey, listen. You an enabler, bro.
Yo, but it's wild because like they didn't drink that. You know what I mean? They drank to get to drink because the shit they were drinking wasn't really good shit. But like it was dope to introduce her to what like how I'm drinking. It's like, look, Mom, we don't just drink to get fucked up. We drink because we actually enjoy the beverage that we're drinking.
And we get fucked up as a derivative.
Yeah.
Nah. So, but when did that transition happen for you?
Which transition?
Drinking to drink and get drunk versus I'm drinking because people are putting their time and talents into this, and this is a really good product. Because I would say that this podcast would be that for me.
I'm going to say that happened when I started to really appreciate craft beer. Because, when you are drinking Miller Lite or Heineken, you just throwing it back. It is what it is. Whereas versus you're drinking a beer and you can taste certain ingredients, you can taste the quality, you can taste the love that was put into this beer, So it was like by that time I was already in my 30s, I'm already creeping up in age. It was like I started slowing it down a little bit. So it's like, now I started to really appreciate what I was drinking. So when I made that transition from not just beer, but into bourbon, that really helped because it took a guy, when we went out to dinner one night, he showed us the correct way to drink a tequila. And from then, I kind of took what I learned then to implement it into bourbon to get the flavors on my tongue.
Yeah, I got into tequila. Like because all the tequila that I drink was pretty trash, except for Patron. I would get, and that was and from my understanding, that's just like basic tequila type shit. But to me, I was like, you would get 3 shots for like $12 at this terrible restaurant in Pittsburgh, but it was 3 shots of Patron for $12. I was in it, you know what I mean? But it was still a shot type thing. You know what I mean? I wasn't drinking it. I wasn't putting ice on it, and I wasn't. You know what I mean?
I've only known Patron.
I still have it. Yeah, but like now, like I went out to the Great American Beer Festival out in Denver, and Elle from
she loves her tequila.
Yeah, like she put me on. Like we went to a tequila restaurant or whatever. The whole Brewing Change collaborative group. We all went out to the restaurant and it was like, we really fuck with the tequila. And that's the first time I had tequila like open, smoky, open. I was like, oh shit, you can actually sip that. And that's not bad. There's some flavor in it because it wasn't the basement bullshit that typically I was having before that, like the Jose Cuervo, like the, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing. Jose Cuervo, this restaurant that I went to here in Chicago, I can't remember the name of the restaurant now, but Jose Cuervo has products that you would not find in the stores. And if you do find it in some bar, they're going to charge you $300 a shot for it. And it's actually really good. So when he taught us how to drink this tequila, he said most people drink tequila with lime. He said don't use a lime. You use a citrus fruit like an orange, and you suck on it. And then as you are getting ready to take a sip, you inhale and you let it sit on your tongue. And as you swallow, you blow out, and then you can taste those flavors, and you won't get the burn going down your throat into your chest.
I got a master that swallow.
That has been some amazing advice.
As you swallow, you blow out.
Yes.
So we I don't
have that type of throat control.
Before we get out,
that's why it's professionals.
I am not a throat baby. I'm sitting here trying.
You gotta add a little grapefruit to yours. So before we get out of here, I do wanna shout out. We've been sipping on this Black is Beautiful collab. So it's the Black is Beautiful for folks at home that don't know. It's a collab between Weathered Souls and like 1,000+ breweries across the world. And proceeds go to organizations that are helping to make the world a better place for Black folks, especially in the judicial system. A lot of the ills and a lot of troubles. I know we did a collab with Union Brothers that and the proceeds went to the Bucket Bail Fund. This particular collab is Modern Method. Shout out to Hannah Ferguson, one of the few Black women in brewing in America, let alone Ohio, but in America.
Baby. You know how Ohio do. We just be out there, you know what I'm saying, at the front of all the shit, bro.
Yeah, I ain't, listen, man, y'all, the brewing wise, y'all, your roads is a different situation, but the brews that be coming out there are phenomenal. And she brewed her ass off. So this is a strawberry, a chocolate covered strawberry is the flavor profile of this. And it's again, It's it's top 3 of my iterations that I've had of this, man. It's really good.
No, yeah, definitely palatable. You can definitely taste the flavor. Was it a 7? 7. What was that?
Is it
9? No way.
Are you serious?
No way.
Yo, that's a 9.
And that's why she did chocolate covered strawberries, because that off of 9.
Yo,
you get real affectionate.
That doesn't taste like a 9. It doesn't feel like a 9. But see, but here's but the can art is dope. And it says, amazing. See me, hear me, speak of me. And that's to say, it's 3 black women. And not only is it to say, listen, man, colorblind politics don't work to help fix the issues. You need to see color. You know what I mean? You need to speak of it. You need to hear the, people that are speaking. That whole like, oh, well, if it's good beer, I drink it. I don't care if you're black, purple, or green. You know what I mean? Like that bullshit colorblindness doesn't help. Also, you need to see that this is a 9.3, because if you don't, you'll be drinking 2 of these. You didn't say that to me. So you definitely broke. I did break. I ain't know.
Because we got a rule, Chalonda, I don't know. Do you like to be called Chalonda, Afro.Beer.Chick? I don't even know how to address you. But we have a rule: if it's above a 9
and above,
you have to let the person know before they take a sip.
Yeah, when you hand it off, you got to let it know 9 and 3. I didn't know, and that's I done drank 3 of these, and I have not today, but I've drank 3 of these and did not know that they were that heavy of ABV, man. It's that balanced, and the flavor is ridiculous. So. Shout out, but yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to know. It's like, I don't need that type of negativity in my life.
No, I need to know.
I'm thinking this way. If I'm sitting up there drinking like a bourbon that's 128 proof, I'm gonna go ahead and take that 9+%.
Oh yeah,
stout.
no, yeah, you ain't gonna feel that. I mean, and like, yeah, for sure. And so have you had? Before we move, Dope the brand. She's, Hannah is also a winemaker. That's how she got into beer. She was making wine and then got introduced to beer and started brewing commercially. She just signed papers for a space and will be opening up a space for her winery. Dope the brand winery soon. So keep a lookout for that. But have you had the Black is Beautifuls?
I've had the 3 Floyds. I've had oh my God, I had so many different.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. What would you say? 2 or 3 that you really enjoyed that stood out.
My top 3, I'm going to say, are Foreign Exchange, which is here in Chicago, Chicagoland. I'm going to say Chicagoland.
Are they a brewery that are known for stouts, or was this like a foray in something else?
They popped up over the scene in the last couple of years. They're good. Their IPAs are really good, but they're really proven with their stouts to be amazing.
Yeah.
My second one is 3 Floyds. Love theirs. Theirs is really good. And then Second Shift down in St. Louis.
Yeah. Second Shift.
St. Louis. I gotta make a trip out there one day. St. Louis just was so big in my adolescence.
Get your chingy on.
I mean, more of a Nelly than a chingy guy.
I was a chingy dude. I wasn't.
You would be.
I wasn't a chingy. I was. What's the hook gonna be?
Murphy Lee.
Murphy Lee.
Yo, people tried to.
Murphy Lee.
People was like, people was trying to turn Murphy Lee. They was like, yo, he the next one.
I thought Murphy Lee was
that
going.
one.
I thought Murphy Lee had some legs. Yo, I thought he had legs on him.
Murphy Lee career was as long as,
because Nelly was too light skinned for me, and I'm a light skinned nigga. Yeah, I mean, Nelly was Band-Aid on the eye, like it was too much. But Murphy Lee
was that dude.
Had like enough Southern. My family, like he had enough Southern. I was like, yo, he gonna be up, and it just
He was like dude from the band. What was Chopper? Chopper from the band. Him and Murphy Lee need to do a collaboration. Long hair don't care. I gotta get out to Duluth, man. Hell yeah, we need to do that.
Who's your favorite Chicago rapper? Because y'all got a rich history.
It ain't safe to say it on wax. Text it to him. We ain't trying. We don't want. You be better off picking a political side than picking a favorite rapper out of Chicago. Don't even do it.
You mean Curl is currently out? Because I'm not even. at this point, because it's like half the stuff that's out, it's like I can't understand what the hell they saying is, and it's just not genuine.
Yeah,
that's why I keep going back to my vinyls, to Special Ed and MC Light and
Safe Answer.
EPMD, all of them, De La Soul.
But
I can't rock with the stuff that's out now. I can't do it.
Yeah, well, we all watched. Yeah, I mean, there's every once in a while something will pop up, and I'm like, you know what? I understand that, and that's cool. But the rest of it, that's for the kids. But any of the eras, where you at? Who's your low key favorite that folks would be like, they be sleeping on a little bit? My favorite is Rhymefest, just because, he's Kanye. So,
I mean, my favorite is I'm gonna have to say, damn, I can't.
That's always a hard question. If you don't know what's coming, and as far as music, because everybody's sound is different, everybody's message is different, all that, all that should be different. So I can't on the spot ever answer that, because it'll be one day it might be a Lupe, next day it might be Cassidy. Like I don't know what the fuck. What was I listening to in the car on the way here?
Lupe is a motherfucker,
right? Because when we signed on, I was playing my Tribe Called Quest versus the Roots playlist. So it was like that's where I'm at.
That's
so
that's a vibe that can never be,
that's
a vibe that can never be bad.
Right. So it's like, okay, you want me to name somebody that's out like now? I can't. I take that back. I'm gonna say Vic Mensa. I can rock with him.
I like Vic. I like Vic.
I can rock with Vic.
He one of the young cats that got bars and you can understand him, and he worked. He in that like trippy hippie kind of like, like the Vince Staples, that kind of. You get the Chance crew, you know what I mean? Like those young cats that got some bar. I mean, Chance was super church on us, but still that young crowd that was like making music, and I was like, it's like something that me and the Churn could listen to together. On the I mean, they'd be like, you know what, we can connect here.
He'll sample some shit that you didn't expect. And you'd be like, oh, okay, got a little soulful little sample. I know they got that Didn't I song that I really like. I forget what that album was, but all right, I fuck with it.
Yeah, I think he dropped the project at like late last year sometime or whatever, and it wasn't bad. There'd be so many it's hard for me to find new music these days. And then when
you at that age where you don't have to.
Yeah,
we don't have to find new music.
You know what? It's so funny because like my daughter, she was like, "Mom, you turned into." She was talking about my mom because I was actually playing some blues by choice. I was like, you know what? Now I can see.
Yeah.
I was blasting Johnny Taylor my last $2.
I was taking my daughter to school the other day, and we were listening to the OJs.
Yeah.
Shit. So what? They don't curse.
Yeah, and then
that's your qualification.
I've definitely been on. Yeah, I don't see a lot of new music, but I've been discovering so much old music that's been out there, and not only just like a lot of blues, a lot of jazz, like Motown, a lot of American music, even international music. Like there's a lot of like and listening to music in languages that I don't even understand. A lot of African and Afro-Cuban and like I mean and Spanish and like there's a lot of like because. It's wild vibing to a song that you don't know what the fuck they saying, but you feel that shit. Like, like they chanting some shit and you like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, but I'm with you, bro. We ratting. You know what I mean? Like, and it's wild. Like we have so few time on the earth, and when like as kids we're just like, oh, what's new? And it's like, yo, there's a whole like thousands of years of sound that led up to what you were listening to, and that's what I'm like. That's what I'm now like getting back into, and it's kind of dope. It's weird as shit. You never know when you get into my car like what the fuck might be on. It might be jazz. It might be some motherfucking like some Daft Punk. It might be some Japanese opera or some shit like that. But it's dope.
It's weird to see that dissension between that, right? Going back to the classics and then always searching for the new beer. Like it's weird, right? I mean, it's not, and you haven't tasted all the beers yet either, but it's like what's coming out, what's being developed. I think our stage in it maybe that's what dictates that, right? So when we were young, we're listening for the new sound, we're keeping up with all the new shit coming out, and I don't know I mean, I know I'm young in the craft thing, so it's like always trying to see what's new as opposed to just relying on the classics. So I think it's just based on your age and stage in the whatever it is. Like we out to explore
funny
right
how
now.
like, you know, when you like now I realize how much my palate has even changed. When I first started, all I wanted was the Belgians. I didn't like IPAs.
Yeah.
Now
Belgians.
I love IPAs. Now then all I wanted was pastry stouts. Now it's like, okay, those stouts is too sweet for me. I want something that's more mellowed out. I still can't get into the porters though. It's very few porters that I can rock with. But even like now with the whole IPA and the adjunct craze and the haze, it's like I just want a good, clean, old-fashioned IPA.
Yeah, that's wild. It's this like. And it is like you getting all the, and now like a good lager I ain't mad at a lager. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at something simple. But I think that it's the same. By listening to the classics, I have a better appreciation for the things that I grew up on, how it came to be. Like, you know, hip hop was built on taking old sounds and making them new. And then when new stuff pops out, I have a better appreciation for the new stuff. There's a lot of junk. I was listening to a lot of junk when I was younger. There's a lot of shit that don't hold up. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't as hot as I thought it was at the time. But at the same time, there's some new shit that like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, you know what? That I could kind of hear that whoever's making this music is not doing it just for a check. They're doing it because they actually appreciate the art of music. You know what I mean? And it's
because music now is just a gimmick. Anybody like I was my playlist and I listened to some song talking about she's thick. Like what the is this the only lyrics to this song? She thick. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, where is the talent at with this artist? So you mean to tell me just because he's popular, this is his talent? Yeah. This is, you know, his gimmick? This is crazy. This is why I stick to the classics, and I love neo soul. You know, I love the artists that's not mainstream. You know, like Kanye Dawes, Algebra Blessing, Eric Roberson. You know, Lettucey and all that.
Lettucey, yes, Michelle Nicolojo, or however you pronounce her shit. She's dope. But we gonna I'm gonna cut this part of the conversation. I'm gonna cut it short because we're gonna start sounding old.
Yeah.
We're gonna start sounding washed.
I do.
We did that a long time ago.
It's true. But I do want to say it's again, it's that same appreciate. Like with a pastry stout, I can still drink a pastry stout if it's done well. Like if it's done with purpose, if it's not over the top crazy. Like when it first happened, I was like, oh shit, pack all the Oreos in. Now I just maybe one Oreo, and you know, balance that with a Centennial hop or something. Bring that sweetness down so I can get a nice, you know, like I mean, but it has to be same thing with like the quads and the big beers and the hoppiness, and it's like a triple IPA. Listen, if you're making a triple IPA, you got to do that with intent. Yeah, I mean, like that's gotta, you know what I mean? And there's very few people making them, but every once in a while when I do find that triple IPA, that's like, okay, I see why you did that. Like, you're not doing it just to put it on the label and sell it. You did that because that needed to be made.
All right,
we're going to give you one shot for your question.
All right, man. So before we get out of here, we ask every guest.
We got to let them do it.
We appreciate your time.
We got to let them do it.
What is your favorite form of potato?
My favorite form of potato? I'm going to have to say baked.
Baked. Ooh, what's your baked potato looking like?
It's loaded. It has, extra butter and pepper and sour cream and cheese and bacon bits and chives.
You got a restaurant that make a banging baked potato?
I do that shit at home.
Yeah. There you go. It's best at home. She get a good ass potato with her playlist. Whatever's on the Roots. The Roots De La Soul playlist with a good ass.
The Roots and a Tribe Called
Quest. And then what's the beer that you got with that? So you got Roots, Tribe Called Quest, the potato,
I may
and
do
what
like
beer?
A good stout. So like I may pick one of the Deepwood series from Rev.
Yeah,
that's the vibe. We need to start.
And then if I'm doing like the bourbon pound cake, then I'll switch to like the bourbon pound cake IPA.
What's the bourbon
She
pound
said that
cake?
real regular.
Yeah,
like we was on her level. like we got 120 bourbons at the crib. She said that real regular.
Bourbon pound cake?
was like, COVID has given me, like, I'm really considering just making this whole cookbook called The Boozy Bitch, because I have been cooking my ass off with bourbon. So I made a bourbon pound cake. I made some vanilla bourbon pancakes. That was just a bomb. I also did a tequila lime pancakes that turned out really good too. I used the Honduras
tequila lime
pancakes. Yes.
That's a lot of pancakes.
I did not. Man, I'm all hungry.
That dude
and
ain't
mad.
never gonna leave you.
I'm hungry and mad right now. I may never ask that question again.
And Shorty show up with a bourbon pancake.
Wow.
Vanilla bourbon pancakes with sprinkle a little cinnamon on top. But but they know my page. I post whenever I do it.
Hell yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Hell
see with
yes.
This pandemic clearing up later in the year. There may be some events happening in which we may be able to experience that.
I get a boozy cookbook. The pandemic may never stop for me. You talking about I'm having bourbon at breakfast?
I swear, it's like it's definitely. I've made like bourbon pecan cookies.
If you release a boozy cooking book, I'm on it. That's I need that. I need parts of that.
I just been writing down my recipes as I go. It's like, oh, let's do this and let's do this, and then I did one with like weed and bourbon pound cake.
You have our money. You already have that.
Yeah, you got.
I don't know about it, but you got you have our cash.
Yeah, 2 orders.
I'm gifting that to somebody. That's 3.
Venmo or Zelle. What you need? How you giving it up? That the boozy cookbook, and then we should have people curate, like every guest, like curate a good time, right? So like what she said, a baked potato with the bourbon, with the stout and the De La Soul Roots mixed playlist, like that vibe. That vibe. Yeah. It's a vibe. So listen, we have to ask you, because we ask every guest though. We have to let the people know where they can find you if they haven't already found you.
You can catch me on all the social medias at Afro.Beer.Chick or on the bourbon side, the Neat Pour.
There you go. Very simple. Day, let the people know where they can find us, even though they don't give a fuck nothing about us. She done just flexed on us.
Trying to get that cookbook.
She done flexed on us. We done became obsolete to this whole thing.
The inbox about to be on fire. We are the Drinking Partners. If you can look, if you're still looking for us,
you don't want that.
You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Listen, we want to thank our guest, Chalonda White, a.k.a. BKA. I done fucked it up. IYK. YK or some shit like that. Yeah, IYK. Yeah. Afro.Beer.Chick, man. Wonderful conversation. Love what she's doing, man. Always enjoy folks who are outspoken and just like, yo, we here, we in here. Our experience is important. Our message is important, man. And make sure you get you a playlist. De La Soul Roots, get you a loaded baked potato with all the fixings and a good-ass stout. And we looking out for that boozy. She done put it in the universe. So that boozy. I don't boozy even like cookbook. Yeah, you say the B word because I don't like saying that with black women in the presence. So
I got whisper
the
that
boozy
in the trees.
Female dog. I don't know how to say it. But wonderful ideas, wonderful young lady, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support of us and the festival, and we look out for everything you're gonna do, man. So as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we is out of here. Really good idea, that cookbook. I'm hoping that comes to fruition.
Oh man, I swear every time I'm turning around, like I did the margarita cupcake.
don't give it all up. What? I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah, like it's just
boredom. Okay, so here's the thing: just when you sit around the house and
there you go.